Ladies and gentlemen, it's great to be here. It is Tuesday, the 4th of April, 2023, and boys, I've got good news and bad news.
Here we go.
The bad news, John Farnham is very sick and he's in hospital.
Correct.
The good news is St Kilda and Collingwood have got two strong hearts, top of the ladder at the 2023. You and me. Yes.
Wow.
I'm joined by the illegitimate son of Chance Bateman, Corey Daffin. How are you?
There's a lot happening here. That
I hope you back this up next week.
I just need a minute to process
Yeah,
all
it
of
took me
that.
5 minutes to come up with. I'm sitting there and going, how can I incorporate sick John Farnham into this?
Bizarre.
How
Okay.
are you, mate?
Very good. What a round of footy. What a weekend. Very happy to be here.
It's been a really, really entertaining week. And I'm also joined by the illegitimate daughter of Grant Denyer, Joel Burnage. How are you, mate?
It's really good. Like dead set. I'm on
That
this
took
every
me
week.
30 seconds to come up with.
Nah, I'm good, mate.
Now, it is also plug out to Dennis Cometti, the band, for the beautiful theme music of Footy with the Boys.
Excellent
Thank you.
band.
It's episode 7 of BTH, lads. We're here.
We're 7 episodes in. We haven't been cancelled.
I can't believe it. I can't believe it. It's we're really getting into the swing of things now. Round 3 is in the books, and there's been a bit of footy news coming out today. One of the things is the AFL has backed the dissent call from the umpire in the GWS Carlton
That was
game,
bullshit.
but they
Very
were always
They
going to do it.
were always going to back it, but it was crap.
Yeah. Oh, it was completely incorrect.
It
Yeah.
was very bad. It was
And-
a very bad call.
To cost a goal at that moment in the game, and I think it was Whitfield with the umpire afterwards saying, all right, is that worth a goal, is it? Is that worth a goal? And it
Yep.
was pretty damning for the umpire to say, it's dissent. It's just dissent. It's dissent.
I'm not sure if it was the head of umpiring or just a spokesman. I watched a statement from him, and it said, "Look, if you don't contend the issue, then it won't happen." It's like that's such a nothing thing to say.
Yeah, it
Because-
doesn't tackle the real issue,
No.
which is consistency here.
And they're always going to back
Exactly.
him in. They're never going to turn around and go,
Yeah.
oh, that umpire got it wrong. Yeah,
I
our
can't
umpires are
remember
shit.
them ever doing
It's
that
like
ever.
Adam Simpson said on 360 last night. He said, "Look, I don't care which way it goes. All we ask for is consistency, so we can play and plan for that."
Yeah.
But when you go a whole game with 30 instances of it happening, and then one at a crucial stage, at a crucial place on the
And you
ground,
pay that.
then it looks like steaming dog shit.
Yeah. Yeah, it
And that's
looks.
exactly what's happening.
I'm not saying it is, but it looks like rigged.
Yeah.
That's what it looks like. But yes, that is the hot button issue of the umpiring, and I'm sure that's not going to be the last umpiring hot button issue.
Absolutely not.
Have you got any footy news items, guys? I've got more, but
Yeah,
I
I've
thought
got
we'd rotate
Griffin
it.
Logue has just
Yeah.
been given a 1-week
1
ban.
week.
I would have given him 2, to be
He
honest.
looked bad.
Yeah,
Like, he
he's,
looked we're all watching the game because we're all talking about it on the
Yeah,
chat.
yeah.
But geez, it looked bad.
he overran the footy and elected to bump. That was
Fucking
the thing for me.
poleaxed him.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He got lucky to get up.
Was that the one where he basically stepped right over the footy? It was,
Yeah.
I
It's
remember that
and
one, yeah.
the defence. I understand that because he's just done the tribunal appeal and they've said no, you're getting a week.
Yeah.
We're not overturning it.
Yep.
I understand the defence that he gave was. It would have been unsafe for me to stop in that moment because if I tried
heard
to
that
stop
one
as much
before.
as I could, but if I stopped too much, then I would have been at risk of biomechanical injury.
That's almost
Quote,
as bad
that
as
is what
oh,
he said.
My
Yeah.
dog ate my homework. That's what
It-
it's starting to become. Oh, it was unsafe for me to stop.
I could have stopped and not belted him in the head as hard as I could,
Give
but
us a
I
fucking
could have
spell.
hurt my
Yeah.
leg doing that. You know, you also could have gone the football and tried to pick it up. That's
Yeah.
I'm surprised it was only one. He got him straight in the head, and he's very lucky that the guy wasn't concussed. It was Will Day. He got
hopped-
up.
He hopped right up.
Yeah, Will Day, what a
and
gun. He had a ripper game.
He was clearly dazed, but he just got up and
Yeah.
tried to shake it off.
Other
Credit
news,
to
I've
him.
got possibly Ken Hinkley in trouble. It's the Ollie Wines has come out today on some publication, some media outlet, and said the players back the coach 100%. So you know what that means?
They don't.
That means he's about to get sacked.
It's like he's a required player.
I think the next up, it'll
He's
be
a required coach.
The board
Well-
will come out and say we back him 100%,
Yeah.
Well, I think-
and then he's sacked.
I think David Koch has already come out and said a couple of weeks ago that no matter what happens, they're giving Hinckley till the end of the year.
Yeah, okay,
They're
but
not-
things
They,
change.
they do, but the way that
Few
he
more losses
the
and
way,
that
the
will
way that he
change.
said it made it sound as if they lose every fucking game, he's not getting sacked until the end of the year.
And I don't believe that 100%. I do not
David
believe
Koch
that.
is a bit slow-meaning.
Ruben Jinby got nominated for the Rising Star this week.
Pretty
Yeah,
deserved, I would
deserving.
think.
I
Deserved.
was at the game.
He'll be in the top
Oh,
5
that's
by
right,
the end
you
of the
were.
year.
He was.
Yeah.
I think he'd be. There's a lot of good rookies this year.
Yeah, but he will
lot
be
of
top
good
5
rookies.
by the end of the year.
Yeah, you'd
Easy
think
as
so.
gun.
He's just such a big body for an 18-year-old or 19-year-old.
Big
And
tackler as well.
yeah,
Big
he
tackler.
attacks the footy. He backs himself in, and it's what West Coast need. Like a lot of their inside midfielders, quote unquote, are not bashing the contest.
Well,
Oh, no.
it's what they
You're
need.
relying on an 18-year-old to do
It's
it.
what,
Yeah.
it's what they needed and need more so even now.
Yeah.
They've lost 7.
Yeah,
of
it's
their
we'll get to how
best
fucked
players.
the Eagles are now. That was watching them all drop was
It was chaotic.
it
Just
was
one after another.
absolutely chaotic. It's one of the worst like injury bam bam here's an injury, here's an injury, here's an injury that I've seen in a game of football, certainly
And there was
live.
injured players that had to stay out there because
Yeah, but
the whole fucking bench was full.
They were saying that. I mean, he wouldn't say who, but he was saying
Chesser.
that they were saying that there was at least 3 players that are,
Campbell Chesser
that
was
are
one of
on
them.
known, and Liam Ryan potentially
Yeah.
as well,
Yeah.
that were on known injuries running
Yeah.
around and just couldn't come off.
It's fucked. It's absolutely fucked. And they, to their credit, they had a crack.
They
There was
really did.
there was a bit towards the end of the third quarter and the start of the fourth. Eagles had a chance of winning that game.
They were within 2 points.
The worst part about it is it was so good of a fight and so spirited from West Coast, but it's going to be a long time before a game of that caliber is played again.
Yeah.
And how good that game is will quickly be forgotten.
Yeah.
I would think.
Well, I think it says more about Freo than it does about Eagles.
Yeah, that's a good point, actually. And I'm not sold on Freo as a whole. I think they got a lot of work to do. But it could sort of help them with how easy that last quarter was. It was sort of a training drill for them to actually start running and counter-attacking.
They were
and
going
move
around
the
traffic
footy.
cones who were injured.
Yes, that's true. Another one. The gather round entertainment has been locked in. This is when
Veronicas.
the Veronicas and Peking Duck.
I love the Veronicas.
I fucking love the Veronicas,
I
mate.
don't- I
I
don't-
love them.
I saw this come out and I thought that's interesting. Peking Duck and Veronica's.
It feels like Peking Duck get booked for
different-
everything.
It's a different avenue.
But they
than,
work
than
for
the
everything.
Traditional
Yeah.
hunters and collectors, fucking type shit
Yeah.
that they
Which
they'll
would have
get.
also been a good pick.
But we
let's
can't
be
have
clear.
John Farnham
At
either.
the same time, it's gather round, right? You would think they would book someone like King Stingray,
Like someone indigenous,
someone
yeah.
indigenous that's hitting it hard
Yeah.
at the moment. But they've gone with the Veronicas.
I
and
really
Peking
want to
Duck.
see the Veronicas do an awkward, like, welcome to country before
To
they do
me-
Untouched.
To me,
Just get in.
it's a very.
We're on
awkward
stolen
pick.
land, guys. Du-du-du-du-dun.
It's an extremely awkward and strange pick.
Yeah,
for me.
but it's going to go off.
It'll
Like,
go- it'll
Veronicas
go off.
will go off.
It will
It's-
go off. To me, it's just weird.
Yeah, I agree. It's a bit awkward. And last thing I've got is Sam DeConing's been concussed in the Gold Coast Geelong game. Nick Holman went through him like a battering ram. He
hit.
barely stopped moving.
Good
It was a great hit. It was clean. He had eyes for the footy. He just ran it straight. It was awesome. But prayers up to Sammy DeConing. Hope he comes through it okay.
Well, his
He'll come
brother's
through.
been offered a contract, and that's big news as well. So Tom DeConing,
Yeah.
there's that many clubs that are chasing him. Like there's rumours of Sydney offering him an 8-year contract. The Saints reckon they'll throw
8?
the absolute sink at him.
Well,
And the
both
Blues look-
brothers.
Years.
Both brothers are very, very good.
Well, it looks
they
like
are-
he could sign on with Carlton now.
Yeah,
which will be
okay.
on considerably less than what he's going to
Christ
get offered.
almighty.
Yeah, okay. Well, they're backing him in. They're giving him consistent first team footy.
Oh, he
and,
deserves
you know,
it.
I rate him if he's going to stay. Next, we'll go to the round recap. And I think, Joel, we're going to get the scores from you and then throw into a bit of analysis about each game. What are we starting with?
Alrighty, so starting with the Dogs and Brisbane on Thursday night. So the Dogs rounding out 14-point winners.
Yep.
You two watch this game as well?
I did not watch the game. I was playing
did.
golf, but
I
I watched the
watched it.
second half of the game at the Wembley Golf Club.
Both teams fucking suck.
Yeah, they were not good.
It was a very average game
Yeah.
from both teams.
Hipwood's out of form.
Very little
Danaher's out of
skill
form.
from both sides. Very deplorable stuff. Hipwood, and especially Big Joe Danaher are copying a lot of flack this week from the entire
Because
footy
those
media
two
world.
can't win a premiership.
I've,
They're in the window now.
I've never been sold on Eric Hipwood as a forward. McStay, I think, gave him a lot of room to manoeuvre by taking another tall defender, and now that they're really only playing a two tall forward line, who else is there tall? Have they got another tall that they play in that?
Gunston?
Yeah, Gunston plays sort of that Bailey Fritsch role though, where he's not a genuine tall. He doesn't lead like one. He doesn't contest.
But they got
like
a lot
one.
of smalls as well. So
Yeah.
Zach Bailey, Charlie
And-
Cameron.
Cameron was very average.
Yeah, it was. They were giving a lot of work for the smalls to do in packs. Like there was so many times where the ball was launched up
Even
high, and Hipwood and Danaher aren't there. They're not
Yeah.
there to contest.
No,
Are either team going to make the 8?
I would think one of the
Brisbane,
two will.
I think, might squeak in. Doggies, no.
Yeah, the doggies
Yeah.
are not looking great.
Yeah.
The midfield from both sides was fucking deplorable.
Yeah.
Like, just fumbles and
all
spills.
over was
it,
fucking
it looked
deplorable.
very amateur.
But Jamara kicked 5.
That was
Yes.
impressive
Yeah.
because that
Hagen,
snuck up on all of us.
Yeah.
The 5 goals was incredible, and of course, the Nicky Winmar
Yeah.
tribute.
It was pretty
gesture
awesome.
Was
Yeah.
And Nicky loved it as
phenomenal.
well.
That's going to be a replay for the ages.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And also, I found it was interesting, and I have a lot of respect for him, for Dramara. Right as the game finished, they pulled Bont up to have the post-match interview on the ground, and he had Dramara with him. And then again in the press conference, Bevo had him there.
Yeah.
and he handled it all like an absolute pro.
Yeah. No,
And-
very.
But that's not just him,
very
it's the
good from
club's
him.
handled it like a
Yeah,
pro as well.
yeah.
The club's
It's
got
a
around
huge,
him
huge,
like they
huge
should.
moment for a young dude, and he's handled it pretty well.
But he's got the support of the club, and that's what
Yeah.
good clubs
Yeah.
do is they get around their players.
Yep. No matter how bad the Doggies may get this year, I would not support sacking Bevo as coach. No matter, you've got to back
No.
him in. You have to back him in. Next up, what did we have, Joel? In the
Oh, wait.
goodness me, I've got it right here.
You two know.
It is the mighty Magpies trotted out winners 63-49 over Richmond. Flag Pies is well and truly alive. I'm on board. I'm on board. I
never
was
got
already on
I
board,
never
but
got
now I'm booking flights. I'm booking grand final tickets. We're gonna make it. We're gonna make it,
We're
boys.
going. We're definitely there.
I just thought it was a complete team performance in every aspect, across every area of the ground. Fucking Frampton played a great game.
Frampton was very
Frampton masterclass on Tom Lynch.
good.
It kept him to one goal.
I
When was
remember
the last time that happened?
Yeah, Lynch was.
He did nothing.
absolutely
He
shut
did
down.
nothing, and it was
So hard.
It's so rare to see that these days because of zone defense and rotations, and guys will play on. Even a key tall defender will very rarely just be given, he's your job for the game, take him out. But that was the entire game, and Frampton gave
What'd
him
you
a
pay
bath.
for him?
I don't know. I don't know
fuck
how
all,
much.
really?
Yeah, absolutely. A packet of chicken twisties is what
So
we paid
half a
for
packet
him.
of chicken twisties.
Like you said at the start there, every aspect they were good. And I remember saying to you specifically in the group chat that I couldn't pick a negative part of the game.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
Our, I guess you could say our accuracy for goal, but
You kicked 15 behind.
Well, the first quarter was wet.
yeah,
the
and
start
three,
of the
and like there
second
was a
quarter
lot of them were
still slippery.
posters at the start as
Yes.
well. Like it was a lot of, it wasn't bad misses, if that makes sense.
No,
Like,
but
it was-
you want to clean it up.
No, of
it
course,
was
of
wet-
course.
It was wet contested footy, and
Yep.
a lot of those first goal attempts came from free play, not
Yep.
set shots.
And-
so you can forgive that in the wet.
I'm going to spoil it. I haven't given him any votes in the
Who's that?
MVP, but Scotty P. Oh my
Oh,
God, like
mate.
Scott. I wanted to give him votes, but.
Yeah. Just that fake through goal. Step through
I
three people.
was in heaven,
Yeah, it was very
heaven.
good, very
Watching
good.
him, just every possession he got seemed like it was on starting the chain of something good. For him to be still operating at this level, at this influence that he has on a game.
I think him handing over the captaincy was a absolute gun move
Yep.
because it's allowed him to just take that stress off.
Because he's never not going to be in the best 22.
No,
like,
no.
he's not like a Cochin or a Heppel where
have,
it's like, oh, are they going to be?
We'll get to Heppel. 'cause
I
that's-
Get to Heppel. We'll
I
get
actually
to
have
Heppel.
a very interesting Scotty P fact,
Oh,
if
yes.
you'd like to hear it.
Please indulge.
Scotty Pendlebury is now the winningest player in VFL AFL history by crowd attendance. 11,161,337 people have seen Scott Pendlebury play in a win,
Okay.
passing Dustin Fletcher's record of 11,144,813.
Okay, all right. Well, that's a cool stat. That's a very cool stat. I thought when you said this to me before the podcast, you said he was the winningest player in history
No.
and didn't say crowd.
No, it was the crowd. More people have seen him win.
Who's the most winning player in AFL history? If I would, we'll come back to this.
We'll come back
But
to
if
it.
we were to guess, this is a good little trivia thing for the pod. Who do you think has the highest win percentage out of any player?
Clive Waterhouse.
I would guess a serious guess of Michael Tuck. I reckon Tucky
Oh.
would do it.
Yeah, that'd be-
He played for a long
be a safe
time
bet.
with a lot of success.
Yeah, safe bet.
And I imagine there would have to be a minimum games criteria that we would have there. You can't just have played
100?
one game and won.
100.
100? Yeah. Let's look up this stat
I'd
after.
be going Joel Selwood.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah,
Selwood.
that's safe. I reckon that's a safe
I know,
bet.
I have heard this one as a fact. Joel Selwood is the most winningest finals player ever.
Winningest.
Yeah, I like the winning.
I've heard that in his,
I've heard that
in
too.
his retirement package last year.
Yep.
But as far as season games, who knows?
Back to the game, the ruck injuries is the other negative I would come
Who's
up
gonna
with
ruck
there.
for you?
It's going to be McStay and Johnson.
Could be McStay and Johnson.
He was
Cox will
floating.
come back.
No, he was saying, well, Cox isn't back for this round.
No, but
they were
eventually.
saying perhaps Frampton would come into the ruck as well, but I think we're fine with McStay and Johnson because they're both forwards.
Yeah.
And
It'll
you know
be
we
fine.
can. I think it'll be okay, but because Oscar McInerney isn't really an A-grade S-tier ruckman, this could bite me in the arse. I bet he's going to play a blinder now. But McStay knows him. McStay played in the same team as him, and he's a big body. I think he can contest those rucks. What was the next game, Jolie?
Alrighty, so next game with Hawks defeating North Melbourne by 19 points.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
the Clarko
That was
Bowl.
fucking deplorable.
The Clarko Bowl.
North
I
Melbourne
couldn't
were
believe
shit.
I couldn't believe what I was seeing.
They were really bad. They were
was-
really, really bad. It was back to the north of old, wasn't it?
I mean, it seems like it was so long ago. It's been two
Yeah.
games.
It was
Yeah.
horrific.
It's
the
been two
hospital
games.
handballs.
It's been two games, and everyone's on the North bandwagon of how good they
They're
are.
going to play finals.
and they trot out that to the second worst team in the league.
It was not to
Unbelievable.
take anything away from Hawks. They
And
had some very good players.
To be fair, moments before the game started, LDU was ruled out with calf
Yep.
injury.
And then no Simpkin as well.
5 minutes before the bounce,
Yep.
he was out, which was huge. But geez, you wouldn't think it's.
Well, did the rest of the players forget how to play a footy?
Yeah,
certainly
who was
seems
Did they not remember that they had a foot to kick with?
Sheasel was still good. Sheasel still did some
Yeah,
good
the
things.
big cheese
The
was
big
good.
cheese. the
Oh,
big
one
cheese.
player,
Good.
fantastic. Let's
Yeah, it wasn't. It wasn't good. It wasn't good. I thought Hawks had a lot of standout guys. They were like Newcomb had a good game. Will Day.
They just racked it
Sicily.
up.
They did
They were
rack it up.
taking the piss.
It was a lot of Hawthorn fantasy players are now on my radar. Now
Yeah.
there's
Mine is
there's a
whoever
lot of
plays
them.
North.
What was getting North was the not using the entries. The entries that they were getting were not being used. They were getting demolished.
Very
on that.
shallow.
Yeah,
Very, very shallow.
very
Because they
shallow.
forgot to kick.
But it's also I like that Hawthorn have a win now because of how
It was looking very sad.
hyperbolic the AFL media is about anything that happens because they'd lost 2-0 and they were
they
a
were
couple of big
tanking, were they?
margins. A lot of people said,
come out,
"Oh no, I think they're tanking and it's not very good." They're just a bad. They're in a rebuild.
Yeah,
Like, they're in a
Also,
rebuild.
An interesting one for this game. Did you see the assistant coach for Hawthorn in the box next to Tom Mitchell?
No,
I swear to
you
God,
mean Sam Mitchell?
Sam Mitchell,
Yes.
brother, looked exactly like Alistair Clarkson.
Oh,
You sure it wasn't
really?
Clarkson?
No, he was in the Hawks box.
Yeah, okay.
Looks exactly like
Okay,
him.
so
All right,
breaking
we'll have
news.
To pull, if we do this as a clip, I'll pull the image up next to this as we're speaking
I'll
about
get you
it.
an image.
Okay, all right.
I will flash it up for
Have
the
they
video.
cloned him? Have they
honestly before
extracted
the
his
game,
semen?
Nah, it's Clarko.
before the game started,
His
I
clone's coaching North, clearly.
I thought it was him walking around the ground, and then the camera angle changed to Clarko. I was like, wait, that's a different guy.
He was on a separate flight
and then-
because of the
and
whole
then-
issue.
Yeah, well, because him and
then
Mitchell
during the
hate each
game-
other.
And then during the game, it showed the coach's box, and there's this guy fucking sitting next to him.
That's pretty spooky.
That is fucking Alistair Clarkson. I mean, unless I had 18 beers or something.
Which is possible.
It is possible.
So what you're saying
And
is there's
and
3
we'll get
possibilities
to-
here.
We'll get to my Saturday's festivities.
It's
They were
it's
fun.
either a clone, it is a twin, or
It's Clarko.
it's his
Maybe
son.
maybe it's just for comfort. They've found a guy that looks like him to
It could be a Clarko blow-up doll.
to make Sam Mitchell feel
Yeah.
better, and
Yeah.
just like Clarko never left.
Yes. Next up, I think it was the GWS Carlton game.
It was. So Carlton getting up by 10 points. That wasn't marred by controversy at
Yeah,
all.
I didn't watch all of this game.
I watched 80% of it.
Yeah, how was it?
It was good.
It was high scoring at least.
It was high scoring, and there were patches that were good,
parts.
but the orange tsunami of GWS just is not constant.
Yeah.
It
well,
just-
they're a
it-
young team. Of course, they're going to
They are,
fall
yeah.
away
With a new
late.
coach.
Yeah,
But they
that's
stayed
true.
with Carlton, who
I
are
think-
a top 4 team, you would say.
Yeah, I definitely have Carlton in the top 4 at the moment, and they did show it. But I mean, I think even Carlton could have been better.
And
as
the
well.
umpires did help them win.
That dissent call was
bullshit.
pretty criminal. Pretty criminal. And obviously, Cripsy played a blinder. He was
he
was pretty
He
immense.
got that body over it.
Next up, I know you're excited to get to this one,
It's
Joel.
good. Joel is okay. Oofed.
It's just the Saints game.
All
is
right.
it?
What happened? What was the score? I don't know. What
Saints
was it?
getting up by 18 points. Jeez, it was good.
Now-
How
Yeah.
good are we?
Yeah,
with a
yeah,
couple of-
you are very
Holy
good.
fuck! I
you are
might
very
as well
good.
book
Honestly.
my grand final tickets now. Do you want to go together, the guys? Because
Well,
might
at
be...
this
couple-
rate, it's going to be Saints Collingwood.
With a couple
Are we going to
of,
go over if it is that?
Absolutely,
It was
yes,
a
absolutely.
big round of games with the showdown and the derby, which were both pretty cracking. But honestly, this for me was the game of the round. It was.
Well,
Yeah.
it
can we just
was
disclose it was
so
really nice,
phenomenal.
like listening to Corey respond to this game high as a kite
Yeah,
because
I did have a. I, did
I
have a
copped
couple
no
of, I
shit.
did have a couple of weed brownies on
I got
Saturday.
no shit when Essendon were coming back and it was all even. I'm thinking, oh, we're in trouble here. I'm going to cop it soon. And Corey's like, it's a great game
Yeah,
of footy.
I'm not a regular marijuana user.
Yeah.
Anymore.
Despite what I may look like.
Yeah.
But I did happen to have a couple of marijuana brownies
Yes.
on Saturday, and my God, did I?
Can we take him
him
before the Collingwood Saints game?
I was in the group chat to the boys saying, "My God, how cool is
How
footy?"
good's footy? This is so good.
sick.
It's the best sport on earth.
Chloe's sitting there looking at me like, "You all right?" I'm having such a good time.
Fuck, we've all got to do that together.
But legitimately, it was a fantastic game.
It was.
The
It was a
pressure-
really good
I
contest.
love pressure football.
Yeah.
I really love pressure football.
Well, that's what Ross does. He gets his players doing pressure footy. They
Yes.
Yep.
But I,
Empty
but
out.
I mean the way the pressure that Essendon was putting on, I thought was
Yeah.
fantastic.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know? And the same goes for the Eagles game where they've lost, but they should have their chins up.
Yeah.
I think if you're an Essendon fan, you've not
It's
lost
where
anything
we-
there.
we-
That
they
was
lost
an-
to the
best
that-
team
that
in the
was-
comp.
That was an amazing.
We talk
game.
about how important transition footy is in 2023
Yes.
and how it's really good to be playing pretty football, handball receives, run off of half-back and be quick. But that's nothing without winning the contest. That's nothing without winning the ball at the coalface and being physical and really being up for it for 4 quarters
And they're
of
doing
a
it
fight.
without
They are
majority
doing
of
it,
their
the
star
Saints.
players.
They are doing it
I-
without
no
steal.
Membry, no Steele, no King,
Yep.
no D-Mac.
Yeah, it's
It's
scary. It's scary. to
It was
think-
awesome to watch.
It's
It was
scary
really
to
good.
think what's going to happen with how unsurprisingly well Ross is doing with this team when these players start to trickle back in. Fuck me, it's going to be pretty good.
Yeah, I'm kind of on the bandwagon. Hey, like they're
like
pretty
Sam.
fucking good,
It
Joel.
could seriously be a Collingwood
I like
Saints
Sam.
final or
It's-
grand final at some point.
I'm gonna say it now. Saints are gonna play finals. Saints are gonna play
Oh,
finals.
100%
I
at
think
this point.
they're absolutely
I had
getting
him
there.
I had him at 9, and
Yeah.
I've just if not for the form that they have,
We're verging
the
into
form of everyone else. Is
we're verging into
garbage.
is Joel okay territory now, which we will get to.
We will get to
Just
that.
to-
I have a feeling
just
he.
just to switch it back to
I'm
Essendon.
sporting a giant erection right now.
Just to switch it back to Essington, I think Dyson Heppel still continues to be a weak link. for
Well,
them.
we've got something on Heppel. Did you hear Sheedy's comments about
No.
this being his last year?
Oh, you would think.
No.
I don't
It
think
would
anyone's
have to be.
informed Heppel about this, but
would
Sheedy
have to
reckons
be.
it's right.
Sheedy is so he takes a lot of license with some of these comments.
So
hey?
he was basically saying, like, this year is Heppel's last and he's going to have to make most of it. But I don't think they've told Heppel that.
Yeah. I mean, I would have guessed this
I
year
hope
was
he's
Heppel's
talked-
last as
I
well.
hope
If
he's
you
talked to
ask-
Heppel
if
about
you
that
ask
before
me,
saying
yeah,
it.
Just on logic alone, he's the weakest link,
Yeah.
and he's got to be on a
Oh,
pretty
he is,
pretty-
but you can't say,
they're playing him
"Oh,
off
this
like
is his last
halfback,
year."
half forward
Yeah.
at the moment, aren't they? And
Yeah, they are, yeah.
that's not just a position that you can chuck anybody into anymore. That is
No.
now where you have extra midfielders and
Yeah.
run and carry players.
Yeah.
And I don't think
you
Heppel
you
is either of
compare-
those.
You compare an ex.
He's great on the bench.
You compare an ex midfield captain that moving into halfback, like Heppel. You compare that to someone like Scotty P.
It's chalk and
My
cheese.
word.
It's chalk and
also,
cheese.
before we move on from the Essendon
He was
game,
better when he had long hair.
I really liked seeing the package. Jake Stringer score his
Yeah.
first goal of the year
Yeah.
after playing a couple of weeks in the twos.
Yeah, he's
They
he's
made him
very
fight, they made him fight for the spot, and he kicked a goal. The whole team got around him.
He's very good, the
He,
package.
he fought for that spot like he fought for a
He did.
cheeseburger.
He did. Oh, Jesus
Stop
Christ!
that.
My God.
If the man wants to have a cheeseburger, that is up to him.
He can have a
Next
cheeseburger
up,
and a
we
dart.
got the showdown.
Yep. So Adelaide rounding out 31-point winners. Boys,
This was my game of the round.
See, this broke my heart because it was on with a 5 or 10 minute difference to.
It was fucking bullshit by scheduling.
That is really bad scheduling. It's really
they
bad.
should have overlapped it with, I don't know, the
Hawthorn North?
Do it with
Hawthorn North or
GWS Carlton.
something.
Do it with
Yeah,
GWS Carlton. No one gave a fuck
was,
about that.
That was very bad scheduling.
But this game was awesome. From the very
You kept saying in the group chat how good it was,
Yeah.
and we kept saying how good the Saints game was.
we
And
were
I
in
was-
two different
and I
worlds.
was too
Yeah.
It was
friggin'
tough.
high
Yeah.
to like switch between them.
It was so fun to watch. Like Thilthorpe played a banger. Rankin played an
well,
amazing
you've
game
got
of
an issue
football.
with that.
Yeah, you had him for the medal, I think.
I had money on him for the medal,
Yep.
and he didn't come through, and I am shocked. They
Well,
gave
even,
it to
even the guy that got the medal come out and said, no, it belongs to this guy. And
Yeah.
he said someone else should, not Rankin, but someone else.
Yeah, Thilthorpe could have been a shout for it, but I think Rankin was the best player on the ground. It was a really hard fought contest. It was high scoring, 86 to 117 in the end. It was really good football all round, and I think I said it at the start of the year. Crom can make the 8. I'm still saying it. I think that Crom, if they tweak out some of these issues with lapses in concentration. You chuck the light on there, Corey, after you get that beer. That would be fantastic. You've switched to the Benry cam. Crom can make the 8. I'm still saying it. This is, as of right now, round 3. Who have they got next week? I don't care. They're going to fucking win. I'm
They're
tipping
gonna
them.
make the 8.
I'm tipping them to
And
make the 8 and go 2 and
Port
2.
don't make the 8.
Port are in dire straits.
I
think,
can't wait to play Port Adelaide. We're going to kick 150 points.
Yeah, I think Saints will beat Port Adelaide easily.
Good fun.
Easily. And I think there's a lot of issues with their midfield and their half forwards.
Saints will beat Port Adelaide, no question.
Yeah,
That's-
I would
we're
tip
gonna
a-
kick
I would
150
tip a big
points. It's
margin.
gonna be
I would tip a
fucking
big
incredible.
margin. Next up, I think it was
Melbourne, Sydney.
Melbourne, Sydney.
So
yes.
50-point winners,
Yeah, I
Melbourne.
missed
They just
I missed
did
this one.
Melbourne things.
It was a classic Melbourne game. Yeah,
High scoring, 134.
Yeah,
I think
it was.
I may have tuned into it for moments, but I don't remember.
I was watching it on KO like when we were on the way, Nadia and I, to the Derby, and it was. They're still the team to beat, I think. As much as I want to say Collingwood are, Melbourne are probably the best team in the comp.
Pre this game, I would have said that. After 2 games, Sydney was better than Melbourne. But I mean,
No.
they've just beat Sydney.
They've just
so-
been
When
hands.
Melbourne need to win, they win.
Yeah, they're a very mature outfit. They know what they have to do. They know when to exert their energy and when not to.
They have
When to
they have
absorb
a
pressure.
very distinct brand as well.
Yeah.
Which,
Clayton Oliver's 150 as well.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
got 4 best
Oh,
and fairnesses.
Speaking
Yeah,
of
in 150 games.
He is the best midfielder in the comp. Clayton
going to
Oliver
end up with the
is.
most accolades out of any midfielder, and he should have had a Brownlow by now. If it wasn't
He
the guys
absolutely should
stealing
have.
votes.
Matthew Lloyd came out with his top 5 midfielders, most important midfielders thus far.
And he had Oliver at 6, didn't he?
He had Petrarca and Oliver at 4 and 5, and De Goey at 1.
That's not true.
Yeah,
That's
I
not-
wouldn't say
I wouldn't
that's
say that.
correct.
I would say, yeah, I would.
To go at 1,
I'd have
I'd
De
say
Goey
he's
at
up.
2.
I'd say at least 1 or 2.
I'd have him at like 9.
If you look into his
I-
stats, what he's like generating off like
Yeah,
those
well,
centre
this
clearances and
week
score
he had,
involvements and
30
everything else.
Yeah, I
30,
would.
35 and 9 clearances, pretty good.
Yeah.
But Track and Oliver
11 score involvements
to say
as
that
well.
to say they're 4 and 5 is a bit out
Oh,
there.
that's
I
maybe-
think Oliver to
Petrarca
me,
had a
Oliver
slower
to
start,
me
but Oliver's
is
up there.
by far Clayton is the most damaging midfielder consistently for like 4 years now. For everything he does in every game,
He has had.
he
I
I
had lull
can
periods, but then
Has he?
But yeah,
Has
but
he?
slightly. But then Petrarca feels that.
Yes.
They're like a sine wave and a
Yeah.
cosine wave.
Yes.
They
He
go
will
up
be
and
one
down.
of the greatest Melbourne players of all time.
yeah,
Oh,
if
for
not
sure,
if
for
not
sure.
the best. By the time he retires, what is he like 24? Like,
He's 150 games
young.
in.
He's
Put it that way, and
it's
he's got
fucked.
4 best and fairnesses.
Next up, I
Hang on,
think we.
sorry,
Oh yeah.
Four what?
Best
Best
and
and
fairest.
fairest.
Yeah, the same way you got the, what was that
Best
word?
and Ferris Bueller's.
That one.
Gold Coast beat Geelong
The Suns!
73-54.
Yes!
I wish I tipped him, Corey. It was a great
Yes!
tip from you. It was
We
fantastic.
got to hear the song.
Yeah.
I forgot what it was.
I've forgotten what it
We
sounds
are the sons of the Gold Coast sky. That's
Is
the-
that it? Or did
That's
you
how
just
it
make
goes.
that up?
That's
Is it
how-
really?
No, that's how it goes.
Okay,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
thought
yeah.
you just made that up. It's
No,
pretty
no,
good.
it's a banger. It's a banger.
They did win. Fantastic. I knew they'd win.
It was a sick game as well.
I really knew
I
they'd win.
enjoyed
Did you
it.
see the VFL game before it,
No, I didn't.
where Gold Coast beat Geelong's VFL team by about 100 points?
Yeah, you put the score up in the chat.
Whoa!
Yeah.
No, I didn't
Yeah,
see
chopped
that.
'em,
Yeah,
chopped
they
'em up.
fucking killed
Fuck
them.
yeah, Suns.
So
Yeah.
when I saw that, I thought maybe.
So they got
Let
depth
me-
there.
let
They
me-
got depth.
do.
Let me walk you back.
Well, Geelong don't have depth. We can look at it that way.
Let
Yeah.
me walk you back into my decision to tip Gold Coast.
Yes.
So
There was a decision in it.
the Cats. Yeah, believe it or not.
It was a lot of vibes. It was a lot of vibes.
Those brownies.
Man. No, the Cats have been extraordinarily slow, completely missing their brand. Like I said about Melbourne having a brand, the
Yes.
Pies have a brand, the Saints have a brand, the Dockers have had a brand that's gone.
It's gone.
The Cats have a brand, it's gone.
Yeah.
They haven't had it. They look slow. Their legends are past it. They've got the medals.
Well, they're so underdone.
chill,
Like
and they've been
Hawkins
getting
was meant
worse.
to be out for 4 weeks.
And conversely, the Suns, the past since the season started, have had these patches, maybe 60, 70% of the game, where they
Yeah.
look fantastic.
I think the Gold Coast brand is fucking pressure.
Yeah, it's great.
Like it's high
it's
pressure
great.
football. They chase, they tackle,
know-
they hit. Like it's very very entertaining to
And
watch.
all they needed to do was string together a full game. And I knew that they could do it. And
Yeah.
you've got guys like the Koshus.
Yeah. Oh, that
5 goals.
70-meter set shot.
Yeah, it was incredible.
Fucking amazing.
so he's
amazing.
He's been kind of not. I wouldn't say struggling, but
he had a bad week the week before.
he's hasn't quite hit it properly.
Yeah.
And he hit it pretty good. Also of note for this game was Swallow. Was the first Sun to hit 200 games. He got
Yep.
drafted at number 1. He's been a Sun since the start.
Yep.
Only guy.
Credit-
Credit
stuck with him.
to the loyalty. Hey,
Huge,
that's awesome.
huge.
He's,
He
a
had
good, he's a
offers.
great player.
Offers
Yeah.
all way through.
Sticking,
Yeah.
I mean, the Swans it was a meme for a long time where
Yeah.
draft picks went to mature and then went to better clubs,
Yes.
and he's still there.
Yeah. Credit to him.
Full credit to.
So
the
are the
bloke.
Cats done here? Like, are they
you would think.
No,
cooked?
I think they still make the 8.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
a big
I-
call.
but- Just.
If they do, they will scrape by. But yeah, look, through the middle of the season, if they string together a half dozen wins, then they're back in it. aren't
What
they?
about
Yeah.
Ben King? Because he hasn't.
he had
Like,
a
yes,
better
he's-
second half.
He
got.
did,
He
but he's
did get
coming
into
back
the
from
game.
an ACL as well. We've got to remember that.
Yep. Yep. So
But he's not setting the world on fire. Could
It
he go at the end
was-
of the year?
No, he's re-signed at the end of last year, hasn't he?
I thought that
I thought he signed like a 5-year deal.
No. So the year before he did his ACL last year, he signed a 2-year extension.
Oh, okay.
So it's either the end of this year or the end of next year.
I would be upset if he went. I want him I'd like him to be a core member of that Suns team, and I think they've shown a lot of faith in him. So I think
it's especially if they get to finals. If they get to finals, I think he'll certainly stay. If they come 9th, then I think he still stays.
yeah.
If they end up where they always are, then perhaps that conversation is open.
Yeah.
But I think it comes down to more, do they think they need to offer him that stupidly big contract that other clubs will?
Yes.
Or do they think they can do it without him?
I think he's got the potential that warrants it.
Well,
him and Max, they both do.
Oh, 100% they do.
Both do.
They'd have to have the money to give him, surely. I mean, the AFL bends over backwards to give him whoever they freaking want, really.
They also, I don't think their salary cap is that stretched. Keep in mind, I'm very bad at salary cap maths, but I'm just thinking of what big players they have that are getting paid big money.
Two.
No.
Took would.
Took would be.
Raul maybe when he
Raul and
re-signs,
Anderson,
when they re-sign together. But there's a
They
lot of
have
role
re-signed
players
already.
that would not be on massive money there,
Lukosius would be getting paid a fair bit.
Yeah, maybe. Next up, we had, I think it was the Derby.
The Derby, yes.
Yes.
Boy, oh boy, now you were at the
41
Derby.
points.
I was there. It
give
was an
us-
entertaining
Give us your
game.
thoughts from the ground.
Look, I thought Eagles were playing well for
Yep.
certain patches of the game. I thought Petrevsky-Seton was very needed from them. It was.
We obviously liked him because you've drafted him into your
I've got him
fantasy
into
team.
my fantasy draft team. He was the first thing I wanted in the. I could have had McStay. I could have had a bunch of guys. I picked Petrevsky-Seton
Okay, a lot of faith.
because he's a forward in fantasy, but they're playing him off of half back. That's where the touches are.
Yep,
I
good.
think he's got him and Jermaine Jones on either flank. Set and forget.
Yep.
They
So,
are.
7 players went down in this game.
Yeah, it was a lot of injuries.
And they arguably
The
7
Withered
of
one
their
in
best
particular was
players.
fucked. Like that was a really bad hit to come down on. Ryan copped a really bad
So
hit.
who it was? Shuey,
Shuey,
McGovern,
Cripps,
Ryan,
McGovern,
Cripps,
Witherden, Ryan,
Chesser?
Chesser, and then one more who I forget.
Yeah.
Cripps?
No, we already
I said
him.
Cripps. It's bad. It's very bad.
Very bad. By the last quarter, they had no bench.
Yep.
and-
But they were within 2 points.
Yeah, they
start of the fourth
and
there.
it shows how far Freo have fallen.
Freo are fucking shit.
The
As
Freo of last year would have won this by 150 points.
Yeah.
And I think they kind of needed this to have the training drill of, like I said before, that easy transition throughout the last quarter. They were just on, autopilot mode, and they were running and carrying finally because
Yeah.
they have not been doing that for the first 2 games.
Sean Darcy, the hit-out statistics were a joke.
Yeah, well, Eagles have no ruckman.
They have a boy.
He
They
got
have
50.
Callum Jamison and Bailey Williams,
He got
both
52,
boys.
52 hit-outs to about 15. It was absolutely ludicrous.
fucked.
And
Either
Luke
way-
Jackson actually had a good game, which hopefully the
Who?
West Australian media
Luke
will
Jackson did have a good
Who?
game.
get him off the back fucking page for a week. Jesus
Fuck, what a
Christ.
waste of money he was.
He
I
played well. He played
still
well.
think
He
it's a
played
good
well. He
trade.
played well.
And now after the round reviews,
Sorry,
before-
what?
Before we...
You think it's a good trade?
yeah, I think it's a good
it's
trade.
great
Yeah.
Still.
Yeah,
100%.
absolutely, yes.
100%.
Oh, I can't wait to ask you about this in 3 weeks'
All
time.
right, ask me about it in 3 weeks. Ask me about it in 3
He
weeks.
played a fantastic game. He was playing the
He
role.
was taking marks.
He was playing the role.
He
that
was playing like half a side who was injured.
No, he was playing fantastic.
I
in the
don't
first
think
half.
you can. I don't think you can put the poor performance or like poor output of Luke Jackson down to Luke Jackson over the first 2 rounds. The whole team front of the back line has been shit.
Yes,
for
that is-
Freo.
that is 100%
It's very
correct.
hard for him to do what he did at Melbourne
Yes.
in this team
What
right now.
he got brought in to do, we got the first vision of it
Yes.
in that derby, and it
Yes.
wasn't because the players were injured. He was doing it from the start of the game
Yes.
when all of the players were on the ground. and
Absolutely,
I thought-
I
I
think
thought
it's.
it was
I
great.
think it's a good trade, and I think
it's just-
Eagles could have used him.
Yeah,
Absolutely,
Oh, they
they
could
could have
have
used him.
more.
Well, I think,
yes,
I think
That would've made
Eagles-
sense.
I think the Eagles long term have got their sights on Aaron Norton. That's
Tim English.
That's who they want. Yeah,
I think they
yeah.
want Tim
I think
English.
they've openly sussed out Tim English, but I think
Yeah.
on the back channels, they're looking for Norton.
And Georgiadis.
But the
That would be good. That would
interestingly,
be a good trade.
again, Adam Simpson on 360 last night. He told an anecdote about how he went down to the bench in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
And he was revving everyone up, and he was looking around, and he realised that there was nobody there. And he's just revving up like assistant coaches and trainers and stuff. And he kind of just looked down at his hands, and was like, "Well, there's nothing I can do."
Yeah.
It's like that is the saddest.
That
thing
is so demoralising. Prayers up, Adam. It's a tough gig.
Even Bevo was on 360 as well. Even Bevo was like, oh, I just feel so bad for Simo. Like that's awful.
It is like, it goes from bad to worse. And anyway, we're going to get into the BTH MVP voting now. We are done with the game. So we're going to go through each of our top fives in order. I'll go me first.
Yep. I'll just quickly pull up Monty's while you do that.
Yeah, actually, you'll go Monty's last. So this is the BTH, Barely Touched Him, Most Valuable Player Award. We give our top 5 players from the round. Top player gets 5 votes. The bottom player gets 1 vote. You can do the math. And at the end of the year, whoever wins this award, we will name it after them. And it'll be our award from that point
Forever.
on. Forever.
For the next
it's never.
30
You're never
years.
going to get it named again. So
For as long as we last.
we'll start at the
Before
bottom.
we get cancelled.
I'll go some honourable mentions first. Some guys
Oh,
that
we're allowed to do that?
I've done it this
Fuck
week
off, you haven't
because
told
there
us
was
that.
so many.
What?
Well, I didn't. I thought it goes without saying. Honourable mentions.
Goes without saying. You didn't fucking tell us.
I didn't say it. That's why it goes without saying. Matt Rowell, Jamara Ugle-Hagan,
Like it.
Jordan De Goey, Scott Pendlebury, our Lord and Saviour, Scotty Pendlebury. There he is in bobblehead form, as you can see in the frame. Will Day, Caleb Sarong, and the Bont.
Oh, I've given a couple of those votes.
I know. This is why I thought it was going to be surprising. So at 1 vote, I have gone Nick Holman. From the Gold Coast Suns.
Interesting.
He
Like it.
played the best third quarter performance I have seen
That wasn't for his hit, was
from
it?
a pressure forward. It was not just that hit. He was hitting everybody. He was hitting absolutely everyone on that field. He was attacking the contest. He was laying tackles. He was getting goal assists. He ended up with 19 disposals, 6 tackles, 5 intercepts, and 8 score involvements. It's like the best game you can play as a small forward without kicking goals.
Yep.
His pressure was insane.
Love it.
He hunted the footy and he turned the game in that third quarter. You could have given it to Rowley, you could have given it to Lukosius, but like the energy that the Suns have when they're applying this pressure, Nick Holman just executed it to a T. So 1 vote, Nicky Holman.
Love it.
2 votes, Patrick Cripps.
Yeah, good.
Just a classic Cripps game.
Yeah, really
He
good.
was dominant. 42 disposals.
He'd
13
be-
clearances
he'd be
as well.
in my honourable mentions.
He's a bull. He's a bull.
He
You
is
know,
a
it
bull.
goes without saying. 3 votes, Clayton Oliver. For the reasons we have discussed, he is the best midfielder in the comp. He's going to hurt you with every possession he gets.
Yep.
25 disposals, two
I
goals.
would take a vote off of him for that haircut, which we discussed
He's a
last week.
rancid haircut.
Fucking
Still
terrible.
hasn't fixed
7
it.
tackles.
He's clearly not a listener of the pod, because if he had have heard our feedback, he would have
fixed it.
Yeah,
He
it
would
would
have
have
fixed
changed
it up.
everything.
4 votes, and here we're getting into the business end now, and this is... I have not been the biggest fan of this guy for the past 3 years, and I think I said on the earlier episodes of the podcast that he was
He's
a bad
talking about me.
fantasy pickup for Joel. And
It's not Shannon Hearn.
no, it's Mason Wood. I'm giving Mason Wood 4 votes.
You're going to spin out when you get to mine.
27 disposals, a goal, and not just any disposals, big, beefy
Yeah.
disposals.
It was. I would say it's his best display in years.
At the moment, he is the best winger in the
He's
comp.
all Australian right
He
now.
is the all-Australian wingman.
He's the only one to kick
Yes.
a goal and have 20
Him and,
touches in every
him
game.
and-
I
him
just
and
got to
Phil
say,
Sidebottom.
Mason, I was wrong. Bravo. Fantastic.
very
I hope he
I'm
gets up.
so hard for him right now. eh?
I've got a raging clue right now. He's amazing. 4 votes, Mason Wood. 5 votes, and I think this is not a surprise after the things I'm saying, Isaac Rankin.
Yep.
Isaac Rankin, robbed of the medal, 4 goals, 8 score involvements, 5 tackles. Every time he was even close to the ball, something hectic was going to happen. And I think he's the main reason why the Crom won this game. The way the forward
good.
line was reacting to him in contests, Rankin is... I think him, Cozzy Pickett, and Ginnivan are like the small forwards of the future. So those are my top 5. I think we'll go, Corey, You want to give us yours?
I love those votes. I'll just quickly run through friend of the pod, Monty's.
Yes, Monty. Actually, yes, Monty sent in
One
his.
vote, Rankin. 2 votes, Caleb Sarong. 3 votes, Patrick Cripps. 4 votes, Lukosius. 5 votes, the Big Bunt.
The Big Bont.
So,
okay. Yeah,
good
yeah,
votes
yeah.
there, good votes
Nice,
there.
Monty. Very good.
I will go 1 vote, Luke Jackson.
Oh, okay. Did not see that coming.
Yeah,
All right.
finally stepping up. I mean, I don't think it was through any fault of his own, like we discussed.
Yes.
that the past 2 weeks haven't gone his way, but he played the role and he played it very fucking well.
Yes, he did.
1 vote. Lukosius, 2 votes. 5-goal haul. Similarly, stepping properly into the role. Love it. 3 votes. Jamara.
Yep.
Another 5-goal
Yep.
haul, and maybe a bit of sentimental. Maybe would have been 2 votes, but stepping it up to 3 just because of the emotion around it all.
Of course.
Loved it.
Loved it.
Loved it.
Loved
And
it.
also, in a garbage game where 90% of the players on that field were dog shit.
He stood out.
He really did stand out. And interestingly, he had 5 kicks that game. 5 kicks.
Yeah, 5 goals straight.
5 goals straight,
Yeah.
5 kicks.
That's pretty awesome.
fantastic.
Very rare these days.
It snuck up on us. I didn't
yeah.
realise kick 5 until they said
4 votes, Mason Wood.
Whoa, we've both gone
The
the 4
big
for
Woody.
Mason. The big
And
Wood.
this one,
He's working his way up the leaderboard
As-
here.
as-
it. I've got Wood for Mason Wood.
as I did these votes, I had 5, 3, 2, 1, and I was really tossing up who to throw into that 4, and it just dawned on me, and it kind of stunned me.
You couldn't not have him.
It stunned me
Yeah.
when it hit me that I
Yeah.
had to put him in.
It stunned me too. I was, am I going to do this? No, I had him at 1 vote,
started
and then
to-
I had him at 2, then I had him
started
at
to write
3,
the
and then
M
yeah.
of Mason, and my hand just wouldn't do it, but
Yeah.
I got there. And 5 votes, Jordan Degoe.
Yeah, I had a feeling you'd go the
Just
JDG.
Incredible.
Yeah.
The brand that the Pies are playing, the Tigers fought back really hard, really fucking hard,
Yeah.
and Degoe was, I think, the deal breaker there. Interestingly, you'll note that I didn't give any votes to Nick Dacos.
Yep.
Are you okay?
I am okay. I'm not sick.
You'll note that I didn't give any votes to any pies.
Have those brownies?
I didn't give a pie a single vote.
Yeah, no,
And it hurts me.
You got into the brownies too.
Yes.
I think Degoe was the deal breaker there. He was repeatedly cracking it open.
Yeah.
9 clearances, just
They're going to steal
all
votes off
around
each
it.
other for the
All
Brownlow as
around
well.
it,
Yeah.
all around it. Yeah, that's me.
All right, Jolie, your top 5.
Alrighty, you're going to love this when
Yeah.
we get to what I get to. Alrighty, 1 vote, Lukosius, 5 goals.
I've just seen the possum again. Sorry, guys. I've just seen this fucking possum.
Where?
It's just jumped
he's up
onto
in
the
the tree,
tree.
yeah. Yeah,
he was
yeah.
on the fence and then he's jumped up the tree.
We'll see if we can. We'll see if we can get him on for an interview.
Yeah, we'll get him on. Sorry, Joel. Go on. Lukosius was your 1 vote.
Mate, I'm distracted now.
It was
Trying to
really
look for the
cute.
fucking
It was
possum.
really,
They
really
are
cute.
very
All right,
Yeah.
look,
Let's
Lukosius-
let the dog see it because he'll jump up
Yes.
and eat it.
Lukosius, 1 vote.
1 vote. Bontempelli, 2 votes. Just big game.
Yeah, huge.
Took the team on their back.
Yeah,
Um,
Bont was very good. He was.
Yeah. And as well for Bont, one thing you forget, like he was all over the ground. So 8 intercept possessions, 8 clearances, 7 inside 50s. You know, he's just everywhere.
Yep.
Yeah, he is.
And also, I think it wasn't like the best Bont game, if that makes sense.
No, it
but he
wasn't.
still
It wasn't.
was arguably the best player on the ground.
Oh,
That's how
yeah.
good he is.
And then we've got with 3 votes, Degoe.
Yep.
As we've talked about, he was just a star.
Very good.
Cripps with 4 votes.
I wonder who this could be.
I've
gonna
got
be
Wood for
Mason
Mason
Yeah!
Wood. 5
There it
votes.
So he's got 14 votes now.
In
He'll
one
be into
round.
the top 5.
Yep.
He will be into the top 5 of the leaderboard.
I have a spreadsheet going on for these MVP votes.
And he's going to play next week.
we'll
So
get this-
even though he's
Is that
injured,
confirmed? He's got the shoulder.
no, he's likely to play this
Yeah.
week.
Yeah.
We've got the spreadsheet going. We'll get these calculated in and we'll post these up on Instagram.
Yes. And
We-
it'll be an attractive top 5 or so, I
we
reckon. It'll be
implore-
very good.
we
Yeah.
Well, Mason
Well,
Wood will be there.
I think it'll be like Dacos,
Yeah, Dacos will still be
LDU,
out in front. Yeah.
Wood might be up there.
Yeah.
Degoe, I think now with your votes there is going to be up
We implore
there.
any listeners to get onto the Instagram, Barely Touched Him.
Yes, Barely Touched Him on
and
Insta, on
give
TikTok.
Us your top 5. Give us
Yep.
your top 5.
Give us your top 5. Let us know.
I will personally argue with you on every comment.
He will do that, and
get on
it'll be at 3 a.m. in the morning, and you'll
And
think,
if you
Yeah.
don't want
who's
Corey to
replied
argue
to
with
me?
you,
It's Corey,
send
and
it by
he's
message.
upset.
I don't sleep a lot. I'll sit in bed and argue with anyone about anything.
All right, next up, the flagship segment of the Barely Touched Him podcast. It is Adopt Your Boy. Have you got the sound effect? There it is. Look at them. They're right in front. You can see the beautiful frames. And I tell you what,
Boys,
It's
boys.
been a good week.
there's been a lot going down in Boytown this
It
week.
has not been a great week.
How?
for the
We'll
boys.
start with yours, Jolie. I know you've got VFL stats to cover Joey Richards.
Yeah, my boy Joey. Well, too bad he's not tall enough because he could have been your backup ruckman, but he
Yeah.
is as tall as
Give
I
him a
am.
whirl.
Give him a run. Give him a
Yeah.
run.
Alrighty, so 15 touches, a goal, 2 tackles, 2 marks, 3 inside 50s
This
for
is
the
in,
Collingwood
this is in the
VFL
twos,
team.
isn't it?
Yep, so
Yeah.
they absolutely flogged Port Melbourne. He was actually playing on Harley Bennell, and he had a
Oh,
better
really?
stats game than Harley Bennell.
There we go.
So what we're saying is
Harley
Joey
Bennell.
Richards is better than
So
Harley
was,
Bennell.
was Joey on like half forward or half back? Like
He was playing half forward, that
So-
centre. He
so-
would have matched
yeah,
up
yeah.
on Harley at some stage.
Sure. But that's a good stat line. That's a
Okay,
very
I don't
good
mind
stat
it.
line.
I
Happy
don't
with
mind
that.
it. And
You're
to-
proud of your son.
Against
I'm
Bennell
very
is-
proud of my
against
boy.
Bennell
Yeah.
is
I think
admirable.
about him often.
Yeah.
Mostly when I'm in the
Jesus.
shower.
Yes.
Jesus. Okay. Right.
Next up, we've got Sammy Flanders.
Christ.
How did your boy go, Corey?
Look, poor old Sammy. He copped an injury. It was a medial cruciate ligament. He's going to be out for 6 weeks.
Oh.
It was in the second quarter. He was doing pretty well.
This segment got really easy for you really quick, hey?
This is where we need the
he was
sound
flying.
effect of
He was
of
flying.
Cedric Diggory's dad. Go, that's my boy! It's my son!
He was absolutely flying the first few weeks, having a great season
In the pre-season as
and
well.
Now he's out. A player fell across his knee. It just tweaked it.
Yeah.
And he's out. And I haven't messaged him yet. I was going to message because we are best friends now.
Yeah, of course.
But I didn't want to. He's probably going through a bit. So and
The phone's probably blowing up.
The news actually only came out this morning what the injury
This
was
morning?
and the
Yeah.
timeline. So this week he'll get in touch. Maybe
Yeah.
send him some flowers or
Hey,
something.
just give him a little.
Can we send him flowers? Like,
Of
genuinely?
course. Yeah.
I think we should.
Yeah.
And no real news on my boy from the last developments we had. Paddy Parnell is still going through concussion protocol. Apparently he's
From
tracking
that
well.
absolute murder.
The absolute dog act
Have you had
of a
words
tackle.
with Broad yet?
I
Have you
haven't
been in
had
touch?
words with Broad yet.
Okay.
He doesn't need to have
I'm-
words.
that's
He
'cause
needs to
I'm-
speak with his fists.
I'm taking the high road. I'm
Okay,
taking
yeah,
the
yeah,
high road.
yeah.
I'm
That's
not.
no
I'm
fun.
not. I'm not going to get in touch with
Yeah,
him.
yeah.
But if he does,
Let the authorities deal
next
with it.
time, he lines up against Paddy.
Yeah.
He better be on his best behaviour. I'll tell you that much. Either way, he's tracking for not coming back for this weekend, but the weekend after he'll be available
Right.
for
And
selection.
wait, who the Crows got this week? Freo.
I think it's Freo.
Yeah, it's
Yes,
Freo, yeah.
yes.
I think Adelaide win that.
Yeah, if we get to tipping, I think I might tip the crumb. So that's Adopt Your Boy. It's a lot of heartache this week with injuries and
It is,
such,
yeah.
but
I'm
this
a
is
bit
what
upset.
we signed up for. We knew when we adopted these boys that it wasn't all going to be easy.
Well, I didn't know he was going to get an MCL in round 3.
Well, this is you never know when you adopt a child. You
still
never
love
know.
him. I still love
He
him.
could have a terminal illness. You
if your child's
you
born and
take
got
him into
Down
your
syndrome,
home.
what do?
You take him to
kill
school
him? No,
anyway.
you
No,
love
you
him.
don't. No,
You
of
love
course
him.
not. Why would you even say that, Corey? Why would you
I
say
don't know. I don't know.
Next up, we've got another flagship segment of the podcast that does not discriminate against any children with disabilities. It's Is Joel okay? And this is
Mason-
just where we check in on how the Saints are going.
Mason
Joel
Woods
is
just
our...
racked up 14 points, so
our-
I think Joel's pretty okay.
I think he's pretty okay. But for context, if you're a first-time listener, Joel is a Saints fan. Corey and I are Pies fans.
And we made this segment.
We made this segment to ridicule you. We made it to...
It's gone great.
I actually loaded up the Saints theme song into the box here.
Oh, have you got it? Oh, is Joel okay? I think he is. He is very okay.
Sorry,
How was
sorry.
how
I couldn't help
was
myself.
the 150th celebration, Joel? Talk us through it.
It was very. I found it quite emotional. I was
It
was
brought a
loving
tear.
it.
I had people messaging me
Yeah.
saying it brought a tear to their eyes.
It was fantastic.
Watching Lockett out there, as soon as he put up his hand, seeing players like Sam Fisher,
Yeah.
who obviously has had a bit of issues lately,
Yep.
but
Yep.
seeing him out there looking well, like
And they had
we just love
Danny
him.
Frawley's family there.
seeing
holding
the
his
jumper
jersey.
being
yeah.
held brought a tear to the
Yeah.
eye. Like that
Yeah.
was tough to watch. But hey,
Yeah.
look, they did it right. They had everyone out there they needed to, and players came.
And then they
Yeah.
fucking won the fucking.
They won the
game.
fucking game
And they
too.
did, and they normally fuck up games like that.
Yeah.
Like notoriously, Saints are great for fucking
They
up
do.
They didn't,
big
just, they didn't
games.
just win a game; they won a very entertaining game.
Yeah, it's
which
just a
is-
good spectacle, and I
yeah.
think they broke their
And it was
their
still
record
entertaining
for.
if you weren't high.
Yes, that's true. I think they broke their record for a home and away crowd
Yep.
attendance as
so
well.
almost 70,000.
Oh, it must be nice to have that as your record, isn't it? If we had 70,000 for the Richmond game the other night with the Pies, we'd be like, that's shit. That's fucking shit.
So my-
No, I'm ridiculing you. I shouldn't be.
And today,
It's a
Nazaya
great
Wanganeen
time.
Malira did re-sign today
They
as well.
resigned for a year.
Yeah.
I saw.
Two, I
It
think.
is,
Two.
honestly, I'm very happy for you, mate.
And the
I'm-
collar, I think the collar stays.
I think
the
all
collar's great.
jerseys should have collars.
Young Jack, every goal he scored,
Popping
he was
it,
popping
yeah,
it
it
up.
was so
Loved
good,
it.
so
Oh,
good.
he was getting the Lego set after
Yeah,
that win.
yeah, right. He's gonna wake up to a Star Wars Lego set the morning
He's
after that
getting
game.
oh the TIE fighter! Oh my god, mum! So we do this every time we do Jolly's Like, oh, we try to. I
I know
remember
what
to
you're
do
gonna
it.
say, and mine is
It's a prediction on where they're going
Top
to finish
four.
on the ladder. He's
Top
gone the top
four.
four. He's gone the top four. So this was 8th for like 4 weeks, and now after 3 rounds, he's minced it into the top 4. And Joel's trying to hit sound
Top
effects.
four.
There it is.
top 4. You
And
reckon?
you know what? I can kind of see it.
I'm going.
I can kind of
I'm
see
going
it.
from 9th to 7th.
I'm going to go 5th. I think they can
Fifth?
finish 5th at
I
this rate.
think Saints play Collingwood in a final.
Maybe
in
it'll
a
be
final.
Yeah, fuck, we got to go.
I mean, that's
we
RNG,
have to
isn't it?
go over
We
and
would,
like
in a
do it. We
heartbeat.
have to do it.
If
yeah,
we would. If the Saints play Collingwood in a final at the MCG, we are 100% going.
we're going. We're going. Absolutely.
Put us all into debt, but we'll go.
All right.
And then one's going back the next week to go to the grand final.
That's a ripper. Is Joel OK segment. Next up, we've got other sporting news.
I got a couple of things.
I know you've got it. Well, we
other
had the
sport.
Melbourne F1 this week.
Would you like to start with golf or motor racing?
Motor racing.
Motor racing. So we had the Grand Prix in Melbourne.
Yeah, so I have only watched a couple of clips of this, of the crashing, but you were firing off in the group chat going, it's all fucked! It's all
was chaos. Absolute chaos. It's the first F1 race in history to have 3 red flags.
amazing.
We also knew that Corey
Incredible.
hadn't had weed brownies for
Red-
this
red
because
flag.
he was popping off.
This was the next
He
day.
wasn't as calm as
I
for the
was
Saints
back
game.
to my usual
So
neurotic
red
self.
flag is bad, right? Like that's
Red flag.
love red flags.
Red flag. Everyone gets off the track into
Okay.
the pits.
Oh, not those red flags.
Suss it out. Suss the track out.
Are you talking about women, Joel?
I love red
think-
flags.
He loves a crazy broad.
Well, they go
Yep.
off in the sack, don't they? So 3 red flags, but most notably, 2 of those red flags happened within the last 5 laps. So for those unfamiliar with F1, there's been a lot of controversy in the last few years about races finishing under a yellow flag. You don't want that. It's kind of a...
And that's when they're doing the slow laps?
Yeah, if you're
Yeah.
behind the safety car, the laps still tick over. So while they're cleaning the track or doing whatever, the laps still tick up. And there's been quite a few times where a race is finished behind a safety car. Fans don't like it.
Yeah. It's
Drivers don't
anticlimactic.
like it. It's anticlimactic as fuck.
Yes.
So what they've done here, there's been a crash. They've put the red flag out, and there's 2 laps to go. And what that means is everyone goes into the pits, and they line up in the order that they were in, and they come out. But with 2 laps to go, you've got essentially a sprint race. So Max Verstappen was 11 seconds ahead.
And he's now...
You're starting the race again. And the start of a race is very hectic.
Yes,
And if you bring that
yes.
start to the end, people start taking risks. And that's exactly what happened. They had a red flag, and my word, it was chaos. Logan Sargent crashed straight into the back of Nick de Vries. The Renault drivers took each other out. Fernando Alonso got spinned by Carlos Sainz.
Oh my God.
It was
fucking mayhem.
They called another red flag, and it took about.
What's better than one red flag?
Everyone's
Two red
sitting
flags.
in the pits with like 1 lap to go, and they're trying to figure out what to do. So there's 45 minutes have gone past. Everyone's kind of just, what the fuck is happening? And it turned out a very, very technical thing where they put the order back out. They hadn't actually gone past a specific point of the track when the red flag came out. So they brought everyone back with the order from before that line. So Alonso, even though he was spun, went back up into third.
Okay.
Sainz got a 5-second penalty for spinning him, so he went down. The Renault guy's out.
Oh my God.
And interestingly enough,
So-
our boy pastry chef,
He crashed immediately, didn't he?
no,
Oh.
in true Australian spirit, he's Stephen Bradbury'd his way into the first points of the season by coming 8th.
Wow.
He drove a clean race. He didn't really do anything,
Yep.
but everyone
He
else
was also
crashed.
starting
Yeah,
from a fair way
nice.
back.
Eight.
How many cars are in the race?
8 cars crashed out.
How many? So, like, when you're 8th, how many cars are in the race?
There's 18 cars.
Okay, yeah, good. Yeah, well done,
So
son. Yeah.
he started at the back, and 8 people crashed, and he ended up in 8th.
Yeah, fuck yeah,
So
good on
pastry
you.
chef gets
All right, and
gets-
Verstappen wins.
Verstappen won.
Yeah.
It was Verstappen, Hamilton, and Alonso. Shout out to George Russell. He was second on the grid in qualifying. Overtook on the first corner and was actually leading, and he ended up having some mechanical issues.
Oh no!
But look, Lando Norris in the McLaren.
Sounds like an entertaining race.
Lando Norris in the McLaren drove a cracking race.
Yeah.
And all this bullshit happened, and pastry chef just cruised in for 8th.
I
right
love the
behind
name
him.
pastry chef.
Yeah.
I love it.
But
I love it.
that was the Melbourne Grand Prix. Very, very dramatic.
Next
stuff.
up, we've got the Masters.
The
is coming up. The
Masters.
Masters. And now, as you know, I am a golf guy now.
You are.
I am starting.
And
You've watched the Netflix show, haven't you?
Yes.
I welcome you to the fold. with
I
open
am
arms.
obsessed with it
Yeah,
now.
we've had a couple of games together.
Yep.
I love it. You are improving.
I am improving my game.
Fantastic. Very awkward stance.
Yeah.
But effective.
Yeah,
Effective.
it's
Weirdly
sometimes effective, sometimes effective. But this is going to be the first full-on like golf event I have watched, and I do intend
It's
on
a
watching
good one
it.
to get into. So
It starts on Thursday,
It
right?
does. So it goes from the 6th to the 9th. And the Masters is very unique because it's not part of the PGA.
Yeah. So
And-
both Live Golf and
Yes.
the PGA
So
Tour guys can play with each
I
other.
know a lot of listeners won't be followers of professional golf. I know you are probably not, Joel.
I
but
do. I watch it.
Last year, professional golf was essentially split in two. Live Golf is Saudi Arabian financially backed
Yes.
venture headed
Yes.
by Greg Norman,
Yep.
the Shark.
They're shark.
Love Greg.
Love him.
Absolutely
I will
love
love
him.
him.
Love him.
Yep.
You ever see that photo of him on the beach in the shorts?
No.
Oh.
Have you not
Again,
seen it?
Is it
raging
awesome?
boner.
He's walking his dog along the beach in his board shorts, and you can.
Is it
clearly-
like old Greg or young Greg?
No, old Greg.
I'm
And you-
old Greg.
You can clearly see his penis, like in the shorts.
That's what I meant by raging
Is
boner.
it a big chopper?
It's
or?
huge.
Oh, he's
Wow,
packing heat.
okay.
It's huge. It's
Just
a-
for
He's
fucking.
swinging
It's
an
hilarious.
absolute
Boom.
It's hilarious.
driver in
Yeah,
there.
love it.
In any case.
What does he drive with?
He's cocked.
He's
That's what he
cocked.
drives with.
So live golf. It's split the golf world apart, but the Masters is not part of the PGA. It's its own.
So they're not
thing.
banned. These live
Yeah.
golf
So
people
if you
aren't
imagine
banned.
tennis, you've got the 4 Grand Slams, right? If this was tennis, imagine that there was a mysterious 5th one
That's not on the
that
ATP
private people
tour.
were just putting
Yeah,
on
yeah.
as its own thing. That's what this is.
Yes.
It's a very prestigious private golf course in the States. Arguably one of the best golf courses on earth.
It's beautiful.
It is
It's
very beautiful. Like how people watch the Tour de France and the camera pans out to a castle or something. That's
Yep.
exactly what happens
Yep.
in this. It pans out and the
And
scenery is
also
just
the
beautiful.
crowd is lit
Yeah.
as fuck.
They are.
They are
But the-
so rowdy.
The way that it's covered, the TV coverage is leagues apart from anything that the PGA's ever dished up. It's
Yeah.
fantastic. It's all free on the Masters app as well, which you can see.
Free
you can
on Freddie, yeah.
Yeah.
Follow
So
any
I'm
player.
actually playing a round of golf on Thursday, and I've got to avoid spoilers and then
Yes.
get home and watch it. That's
Yeah,
what
I'll be
I'm
watching
I'll be
doing.
watching the
So
morning
players,
before work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Players to watch will be
Scotty Scheffler.
Cam Smith.
Yeah, Cam, our
our
boy.
mustachioed, mullet-wearing
Our
champion.
Aussie boy.
We love him. Scotty Scheffler is the favourite,
Yep.
arguably.
Yep.
Jordan Spieth.
Yeah, John Rahm.
John Rahm and McIlroy will be
John
good.
Rahm.
McIlroy tends to fade out late at the Masters. He
Yep.
just can't string together 3 rounds for whatever reason. But
Yep.
we'll see.
So it's 3 rounds of 18. That's
three rounds of 18.
Is it 4?
I
or
think
3?
it might be 4.
That's
I think
4,
it might
I
be
think,
4.
yeah.
3 or 4.
4.
3 or 4.
Yeah, okay.
And interestingly, on the Sunday, the final day, all of the flags move. They move the hole to different spots on the green. It's the same spot.
What?
It's the same spot every time, so you know where it's going to be. But Sunday is significantly harder, especially
Expert round.
There's a famous hole, the 12th hole. It's a par 3. Incredibly difficult par 3.
Wow.
Especially when they
I would do it in 9.
move the pin all the way to the right. Incredibly difficult.
fuck.
Incredibly difficult golf
Love
course
it.
all
I
round.
cannot wait. I cannot wait. In other news, we had WrestleMania
That was
the other day.
big.
So I am a wrestling fan, but when COVID happened, I kind of stopped watching it because they had no crowds. But I keep up to date with who's doing what and who the champions are, and obviously AEW's come in the last few years, and it's been really cool.
I'm sorry to interrupt you.
Yes.
But this is a huge news story that's just developed in the past day or so.
Yes.
And I know WrestleMania is big.
Yes.
But this is WWE relevant. The UFC has
Endeavour.
just bought
They bought WWE. Yeah. So this is the parent company that owns the
Yes.
UFC, Endeavour.
Yes.
They have, WWE, Vince has been looking to sell the company for a while.
Did you see the photos
Yes.
of Vince from WrestleMania?
He's got a mustache, yeah.
He looked
he's got
fucking
he's got a
terrible.
porn star mustache now, and it's really bad. I don't know who told him this was a good idea, but yeah, it's
Not with all the allegations against him as well.
Linda, I just want to grow a mustache. It's very bad. He looks Mexican, but in an
Which is-
offensive way.
yeah, not a bad thing,
He
but-
looks like he's dressing up as a Mexican in an offensive way. But
A lot of fake
Endeavour
tan.
now owns the UFC and the WWE.
That has huge ramifications financially. It's going to be interesting
The
to see how that
company
plays out.
together now, I think, is worth over $20 billion.
Yeah.
It's
And that's
huge.
That's public-facing finances. It's
Yeah.
probably a lot more than that.
Yeah. So, there's the possum, Joel. There he is. Look at
there
him.
he is.
Oh,
Oh
fuck, there's
my
a possum.
god, it's so
Yeah.
fucking cute. It's coming this
Do you think I
way.
could get the camera?
It's coming
no,
this
you
way.
can't. You can't.
Oh my
Corey.
god, Corey, have a look at the possum. Oh my god, it's so cute.
Go and catch it, Corey.
Switch the camera. Oh, he's gone.
Oh, he's gone.
But he might come
Oh.
down.
Apologies.
It
I
was
thought I could get him
so
on the camera.
fucking cute. He was just walking
Anyway,
across the
sorry,
fence
where were
Can
we?
we have a pet
near
possum?
to us. That was adorable.
Actually, I played a game.
Trust
we made
me,
a game
don't want
called.
to touch them. They're very rabid. They get very aggressive very
We
fast.
saw a possum down south in Triple Bay. We made a game about I think it was just some drinking game, but we named it Possum. So we've got an.
You're killing possums down south.
No,
you know they're protected.
Yeah, you can't do
didn't-
that.
No,
You can't,
we weren't playing possum soccer or anything like that. Like quokka soccer, but with possums.
You can't do that. You can't do that.
Should we get back to WrestleMania?
WrestleMania happened. I watched night 1.
watched
and
I do
Night
have some
one
notes from
and
Monty
two.
here as well.
yeah, what did Monty say about it? Because he's our resident wrestling guy.
is
Pass it here. I'll read it out. I'll read it out.
Huge wrestling
Yeah.
fan.
WrestleMania. Once again, the greatest spectacle in sports entertainment has delivered. Spoiler alert. Aussie, Adelaide's own Rhea Ripley, wins the Women's
yeah,
World
I heard
Championship.
about that.
Very good from Rhea. Roman Reigns retains his undisputed championship, now 940 plus days as champion. And in real life, best friends since they were kids, Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, won the tag team championships for the first time in their careers. That was the best moment of the night for me of night 1. Some incredible storytelling, climaxing at the grandest stage of them all. Top 3 matches from Monty, Gunther, Sheamus, and Drew McIntyre triple threat, which I'm yet to watch. But
That
I
was the
thought it gonna be very
Intercontinental
good.
match, and that
Yes.
was incredible.
I love them all. Usos and Kevin Owens at 2, and the 8-man tag team match at 3.
See,
Hell
I'd
yeah.
argue that because I thought the Rhea Ripley match was incredible and definitely a top 3.
Yeah, they really tore the house down.
There was a Hell in a Cell match with Edge and Finn Balor as well.
Yet
which
to
was
watch that.
incredible.
Yeah.
Until Monty started talking about it in the group chat, I had no idea that woman is Australian because
Yeah, Rhea.
I've seen her
Yeah.
photo.
You should have heard her talk though.
I was a big fan of the Dominic Mysterio versus Rey Mysterio match just because Nadia was watching with me at the time, and she's a big reality
What does
TV
Nadia
fan.
think of wrestling? What's the girlfriend take?
thinks
She thinks it's for kids.
She has a good laugh about
Oh,
it,
okay.
but it's because I've been like spruiking this to her as it's just like reality TV, Nadia. You have
It
to
is, yeah.
you have to watch wrestling through the lens that you watch maths through.
Yes.
And it's the exact same vibes. Maths has heels and faces.
Yeah.
Wrestling has good guys, bad guys, heels and
This
faces.
is what I was trying to explain to my mum actually recently about
Yeah.
maths. Because we have a friend
Tell her it was
that's
crap.
in the recent
We
season
won't
of
name him
maths.
for
We
now.
won't
It's
name them.
fine.
Lyndall.
Yeah.
I was,
Oh, for
I
God's
was
sake.
talking to my mum about maths, and she was asking, "What do you think?" I said, "Well, maths all bullshit.
Yeah.
It's
It
all
is.
made up.
Yeah.
Like it's
And
it's
that's
not
like
real.
you telling a 12-year-old boy that wrestling's fake.
Yes,
It's exactly that.
exactly the same.
Yeah.
and
No, they're actually like, no, they're having
it's-
arguments with each other.
it's-
Yeah, and they're actually going through a table.
it's fake.
Like,
It's produced.
Yep.
It's all made up. And
Yep.
if you shoot off like out of all the seasons of maths, Australian ones, and Australia shopped that show overseas. It's in a lot of countries
Yep.
now.
I can't
Out of
believe we
all
started
of the
that.
seasons of every country, the amount of couples that are still together, and this is like
it's
hundreds
around
of couples.
5% that stay
I think
together.
there's 2,
Yeah.
not percent.
No, there's
Just
more
2.
than that. There's more than that. In Australia, there's
more than 2,
usually-
yeah.
But going back to wrestling, like this is the thing. Yes, it is fake, but
Yeah.
it's reality TV.
Yes.
At least there's big dudes.
Big
just
meaty men
smashing.
But also-
slapping meat.
A lot of effort
That's
goes
what I
into it.
need.
They are so athletic.
Yeah, it is.
they are, they
Well,
are.
well, the
Really
reason I
incredible.
love wrestling so much is because I've always been into sport and I've always
It's
been into
sports
the arts.
entertainment.
So it is the mixture of those two worlds.
Yeah, I love it.
It's
I love it.
theatre. It's like theatre for the working class. Like you're watching, rather than watching Shakespeare and not understanding what the fuck they're talking about because Shakespeare's pretentious.
You are
There, I said it.
uncultured.
I am. You're watching people pretend to fight each other. And that fart sound effect was unwarranted. You're watching people pretend to
Don't
fight
you
each
shit on my
other.
boy Shakespeare.
The best moment of wrestling for me is the entrance. When they come down the
It's
ramp.
very
Yes,
good.
the match is great, but the best bit is when the music's going, the pyro's going, the crowd's going wild, everyone is into it.
Oh, we're getting the booyaka.
Yeah, the Ray's entrance was so good. Cody's entrance was so
Yeah.
good. It's just great, man. I fucking love it.
It's good. I
It's
actually
great.
watched a clip this morning that really set it in, and I already had this opinion, but it really set it into my head how cool the fakeness and the
Yeah.
reality TV-ness of it is. It was a match between Shawn Michaels, the Heartbreak Kid, and Ric Flair.
Yes.
And Ric Flair, they're hamming up how old he is and
Yeah.
fucked, and he's about to get up, and Shawn Michaels is on the turnbuckle, and he's about to deliver.
The final super kick,
He's
the
a-
sweet chin music.
And he doesn't want to. He's like,
Because it's Ric
Please.
Flair's retirement match.
Please.
Because this is
Please.
what you're describing, Corey, is
Yeah.
one of the best moments in
it's
wrestling
incredible.
ever.
It's incredible.
And
The emotion.
so like it's Ric Flair. If he loses this match, he retires.
He's out. Yeah.
So Ric Flair is getting up and
And he's
saying
making a show of how hard
he's
it
making a
is.
show of
And
how
he-
far
he
he's
puts the
selling it.
guns up, like,
He's
"Come
selling it
on.
like you can do it.
I
And
didn't hear no bell.
Sean is crying. He's
Yeah.
like, "I'm sorry.
Don't get up.
I
I'm
love
sorry."
you."
And then he walks out
And
and, just
then-
kicks him in the chin.
and then just kicks him.
And then
done.
hugs him.
And then he
Hugs him
pins
on the
him,
ground.
1, 2, 3, and then like hugs him in
Kisses
tears.
him. He kisses
That
him.
is the shit, man. That is the shit. It's so good.
Incredible.
Well, super quick before we wrap that up. Favorite wrestlers of all time.
Great question. All right, I'm gonna
wrap
give
it
you
up.
3. I have to give you 3.
All right.
John Cena.
Yeah.
He was like my childhood. I loved him so much.
I missed the boat on Cena. I kind of phased out of wrestling right as he was coming up.
Yeah.
So by the time I got back in, I was like, this guy sucks.
Eddie Guerrero.
Oh, good.
Big Eddie Guerrero fan. And I'm gonna go a modern one. I really like Kenny Omega. Kenny
Love it.
Omega's
Yeah.
Love it.
fantastic.
I'll go.
Yeah.
I'll pick a 3 as well. No particular order.
Yep.
I will pick Stone Cold
Fuck yeah.
because just so badass. Started off the Attitude Era, which
Yeah.
arguably brought wrestling back to life.
Yeah. It's never been as cool ever again.
No,
Yeah.
Degeneration X, Stone Cold, just fucking amazing.
Yeah.
And I'll take Mankind.
Yeah, Mick Foley.
Mick
yes,
Foley,
yes.
just incredible. I mean, even his book and interviews and stuff. Like the character.
Well, he's in our intro. He's getting
Yes.
thrown through the table
Thrown-
in broken
thrown
in
through the
half.
table,
yeah.
yeah.
Yes,
he
that's
is,
Mick
yeah.
Foley going off the Hell in a Cell.
Yeah, just a really level-headed guy. Like the way he talks about wrestling and the craft of it and
Yeah.
everything, and the
Very
way he
humble.
supports. Yeah, very humble.
Yeah.
He put his body through absolute hell for
Yeah.
the spectacle of it.
And number 3.
Number 3, I would have to pick. Oh, jeez, I don't know. Maybe the Undertaker.
Yeah.
Just for the iconic value.
Yeah. Joel?
Oh, I was a massive Jeff Hardy fan.
Yeah.
Hardy.
Respect.
Damn, he
yeah.
was sick.
Dun, dun, dun,
That
dun,
front
dun.
flip.
The
with
swanton.
with the
The
fingers.
swanton. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
the
yeah.
armbands, everything. I loved
Iconic.
it. I had all the belts and everything, so I'd like
Yeah, fuck yeah.
jump off the bed and do all that shit. Alrighty, the Undertaker.
Yeah.
Goes without saying.
Yeah.
It's
So
just
good,
one of those
dude.
iconic
so
ones.
good.
And Hornswoggle.
Oh,
Is that the midget
he's watching and going, this is literally me. This is literally
God
me.
damn
It's
it.
like when
It
we
felt
watch
like I had a
Ryan Gosling.
chance. Yeah. Alrighty,
Fucking
so
hell.
Next up, we'll finish with, I think, have you got another sporting thing, though? before
No,
we
I
go
think mailbag we can
I think
fit into the
mailbag, we
next.
can finish it off.
Just before that, our beloved Dolphins got thrashed by the Dragons,
no.
12-38.
Oh, well,
I didn't watch the game, but
Fins up still.
Fins up.
Fins up.
Fins up.
Yes.
I didn't watch the game, but apparently they got plagued by a few injuries, and they've still got a guy
Yeah, I
on
didn't watch it either.
suspension.
Oh, well.
So we'll crack into that next
All
week.
right.
And yeah,
Let's
fins up.
finish off with Joel's mailbag. Let's do it. You've got the.
Have we got the music?
He's got to pull up. Oh, you can do the robot voice filter, and I can do like a little. It's Joel's. Wait. It's Joel's mail. No, that's not doing it, Corey. There we go.
That's only working on mine.
Oh, for fuck's
It's
sake.
Joel's mailbag.
There it is. Wow. This is the production value you're going to get on
That
the
was quite
massive.
poor, wasn't
Barely
it?
Touched Him
We'll have
podcast.
to up that for next week.
Spending so much dosh.
Clearly.
Give us the first mailbag, Joel.
Alrighty, who has the? Well, this is from Scotty Benson last week.
Thank
Scotty
you, Scotty.
Benson!
Thank you,
Yeah.
Scotty.
Who's got the best handicap out of you three boys?
Easily, me.
Corey. Absolutely,
Corey.
Corey.
So what is yours?
I've never actually looked it up.
What are you shooting on average, you reckon, for an 18 holes?
My best ever on 18 was 86.
My best ever is 111, but I've only been golfing for like 3 or 4 months.
Now I
so-
say my best ever was 86. I've only broken 90 2 other times.
Okay,
And
but that gives us an indication. Like
Yeah.
Corey is the best at golf
Yeah,
here.
So
I'm really good at mini golf.
if I'm
Yeah.
if I'm playing 18, I'm trying to go for low 90s.
Yeah.
It's so I'm not sure what that would be on the handicap scale. I've
Yeah.
never downloaded.
You should get an app. You should get an app
I've
and
never
figure it
downloaded
out.
the app or
All
anything.
right, next up in the mailbag, Joel.
So next up, a couple from the other week. Best team to never win a minor premiership.
I don't know.
Ooh.
That's a really hard one to actually like.
That's
think
I don't know off the
head.
top of my head who hasn't won a minor premiership.
But I think it means not ever.
Oh,
like
in
a
that
particular
season.
year.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay, yeah. I would
That's
say.
a really hard question.
Well, didn't St Kilda win the minor premiership in 2010? And Collingwood came second?
Yeah,
Then Collingwood 2010.
Who won the minor? Who won the?
Mania.
Minor.
Who was
Ammonia.
second in the minor premiership when the Dockers had that insane run? And
It
then
might have
got
been Geelong. It
trounced?
might have been Geelong.
I'll pick that because
I don't know.
I haven't got a fucking
whoever
clue.
that was, because they trounced that season.
Yeah.
And then got fucking shit kicked in the grand
Yeah,
final.
they
So
did.
Whoever it was in
Yeah,
that
any
season.
Hawthorn team that didn't win the minor premiership in that three-peat, let's go with that.
Easy, yeah.
Yeah.
Alrighty, for the mailbag, who do you think will make the All Australian team at
Who's
the
it-
end of
who's
the
it from?
year? Oh, Kelly.
Kelly.
Do you know Kelly?
Kelly,
that
what's
just-
his last name?
She, I think, maybe.
It's a woman.
Well, we can't assume anymore.
I think this is my friend Kelly.
Beardries?
Yeah, no, he's a man. He's a man.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
Well,
thank
there
you
we
for the
go.
question, Kelly. I'm playing golf with him on Thursday.
Lovely. Alrighty, who's going to make the All-Australian team and who won't make the All-Australian team? that-
Okay, like so
Let's
we'll
pick-
give a will and a won't.
Let's pick one from each line instead of doing
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Okay.
So for the back line,
Dacos.
yeah, I mean, Dacos.
I think we all can say Dacos.
Dacos, and who won't make it in the back line? I'm gonna
Harris
go.
Andrews.
I think
Yeah,
May.
Harris
I
Andrews
think
won't
May
make it.
won't. I think May will get picked by someone else. Like
I
Wiedering, I
don't
think will get
May.
picked over
I
May.
don't think May.
Yeah, I think Harris Andrews. won't.
Halfback?
Oh no, we just go backs.
No,
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 back,
no.
half backs and backs don't matter anymore.
Okay,
That's all.
all right,
We're
all
going to midfield. Midfield. Who will make it?
To go is a lock.
I don't think to go is a lock.
To go is a lock.
LDU's a lot.
LDU is a lock.
I like
Yes.
LDU.
Oh,
Absolutely
actually, no, I
LDU.
changed mine. Mason Wood.
Oh God. Well, if they play genuine wingers, then they should pick him for a wing. Yes.
I don't think Lockie Neal will make it.
I don't think. Who was in? I don't think Laird will make it.
Oh, God. That's a
Yeah,
huge call.
I don't think Laird will make it.
Jesus.
Well, they didn't give it to him last year when he absolutely should have been in the team.
Oh, the umpires didn't know he existed.
Yeah. Who do you reckon, Joel? Who's
I
not going to
agree
make
with
it?
Lockie Neal.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
think
Neal's not making it.
He's-
Yeah, fair
he's upsetting
And
me.
forward line, who will make it? Jezza. Jezza
yeah.
Cameron.
Yeah.
Easiest tip.
He could snap his leg now and
Nick
still make it.
Larkey.
Oh yes,
The
Suv,
big
Suv will make
Suvlaki.
it. The big
You don't
Suv
mind
will
it.
give it a go.
I'd like to see, and I know what the question is, but this is what I would like to see. I would like to see Lacocious kill it for the rest of the season and make all
That
Australian.
would be sick.
That would be
Who
incredible.
won't make the forward line for All Australian? Charlie Cameron won't make it.
No, he won't.
Yeah.
He will definitely.
Tom
won't.
Lynch won't make it.
Oh, correct. I agree.
Oh, I don't know. There's a
I agree.
lot of time.
I agree. He got shut down by.
Yeah, by Billy Frampton. That's unforgivable. I love you,
Jesus
Billy. But fuck.
Christ.
Oh, any more, or was that it? Was that
Nah,
it for
I
the
think
mailbag?
that's
Nah,
it.
that's good. No,
So
they were
we're
good
gonna
mailbag
have-
questions.
We're
We
going to
are-
have the tips on a separate episode.
Yes. So
that's
what
gonna
we're
get-
going to do is we're going to record
a
them
new
both
format,
now.
new
but we're
format.
just going to have a little break, then record our tipping episode, the predictions that will drop on the Thursday,
Correct.
instead of the Wednesday.
Correct.
So that's going to be a full episode dedicated to tips, a little bit shorter, but longer than
If
we
you're-
would usually
If you're
give the
listening
tips.
to this right now,
Today's
check,
Tuesday.
Check your feed, and by the time you're listening to this, there will be another episode up with tips. And
Absolutely, yes. All right. That'll be it, ladies and gentlemen. Have a lovely round 4.